maybe be referred to Apex Scholars Program. But not just that, we do a holistic review also. Like I said, we look at over 20 grades, what classes you took at your school. So you're in a situation where you can actually get in if you had like a 2.8 and maybe a 928 SAT. So we kind of, it's a sliding scale. So we work with you. So I encourage all you guys to apply. August 1st was the first day that you can actually apply. So definitely get started on that, because you know the first day of October is the first day you can do your financial aid. And we'll talk about that later. So we're Carnegie Warren Research School. There's about 50 of those in the US, and it's 3 Carnegie Warren Research Schools in Michigan. So, and they make up the University Research Corridor. And the University Research Corridor is made up of 3 schools. It's U of M Ann Arbor, Michigan State, and of course Wayne State. And what Carnegie Warren Research means is that those schools raise the most money to support research on their campuses. Is that at those schools, the professors have to break new ground of research, publish books, and write journals to keep their jobs. So they're not just teachers. So sometimes you may have a professor that wrote the textbook, or maybe wrote all the books that you're interested in, because you're really interested in fruit flies, and that's all his research been on. And he teaches those lessons too. So in the situation of you maybe want to further your education and become a PhD or get your master's degree, you have the ability to do research at our university. You see, we had over $259 million annually that we give students. We give the most undergrad research dollars to any school in Michigan too. So if you go to our research stipend office, you can get a stipend for your own research, but you can also get a stipend to contribute to a professor's research. And that's what speaks to that University Research Corridor, because our professors, you may collaborate with them on our campus, but if you see a professor at Michigan State or U of M that are doing research that you're really interested in, you have your stipend and you want to contribute to that research, you can actually collaborate with them through the University Research Corridor. That's why those 3 schools kind of work together as far as research, so our students can get the most bang for their buck and grow the most in their research possibilities and what they're trying to do in their future. So this is, I kind of consider this the most important slide on the reel. It's really important because one thing is, I know when I was a student coming into school, I was kind of hesitant. I did okay on my SAT. I did the ACT. I think the first time I took it, I got an 18. Second time I took it, I remember it was a community college, Highland Park Community College. My English teacher said, if you need some help, go down there every Saturday. So I started going down there every Saturday, and I ended up getting a 23 on the next one. I was on a baseball scholarship for undergrad, so that made a huge difference for me, because they were telling me what score I needed, and I was stressing. So ideally, I guess my point is all students need support. And at Wayne State University, we have one-on-one tutoring for all students too, and you can sign up for that in the Academic Success Center. However, also in the Academic Success Center, you can sign up for SI instruction. SI instruction is called supplemental instruction. So if you're in a large class, maybe 80 students, 90 students, 100 students, you can actually, they put you in small groups in SI instruction and get you ready for every quiz, midterm, and final. So ideally, you can actually go to your class, you kind of bashful, don't raise your hand, take good notes, go over your notes, still don't get it, right? Then you go to SI instruction, they put you in a small group, they go over everything in that class again and answer any questions you have. And if you still don't get it, you can get one-on-one tutoring too. So it's a lot of support services at Wayne, but you just got to take advantage and sign up for it, right? However, in the Academic Success Center, they have organization skills workshops, study skills workshops, and also they have time management workshops. I know you're gonna have a lot more time on your hands, and students usually have difficulty balancing everything they want to do out because there's so many more opportunities because it's such a big environment. Another one, career services, that I think, I'm not gonna go through them all because I have a lot more slides I gotta do, but career services is huge too. I took advantage of career services when I was at Wayne. They help you with your resumes, cover letters. They help you get internships. They also offer mock interviews too. All those companies come downtown, do mock interviews with you guys, get you ready. I know you guys used to do that at your school too. So we kind of do something similar to that, right? But a lot of my leads I got from from internships or even job leads was from those mock interviews. A lot of times DTE or Quicken Loans or Microsoft will come down and say, hey, you know what, we really liked you. You should apply for this job. So I encourage you guys to do that. when you enroll at Wayne, you get 10 sessions of counseling services. So if you're suffering with depression or a death in your family or whatever it may be, you can go get 10 sessions, mandatory 10 sessions, and you get 5 more if you need it. So it's really like 15 sessions, and you get that per year. And those are free. If you need a psychiatrist, we offer that. If you need, they're all licensed professional counselors too, which is kind of cool. And the last one I'm gonna go over is the Office of Disability Services. If you got disability at your school and you got in, you passed the SAT or have a good GPA, you're admitted to university, but you need more time to take a test or a note taker or a video recorded or audio recorded lectures, they can accommodate you. So as soon as you enroll at Wayne State University, you go by a Student for Disability Services office, and they'll make sure all your accommodations are met so that you can have a smooth transition through your 4 years. And the last one is the Office of Multicultural Affairs. It's only been open the last 4 years. I think it's amazing. I'm part of the network. We have a book club every Tuesday. I gotta actually read my next 10 chapter pages, but every Tuesday we talk about those chapters. It's been huge. We meet every Friday. We do events with the students. All the Black male faculty and students kind of get together and we network. We do events and we talk about stuff that kind of affect us every Friday. I think it's been huge for me and also for the students. So definitely take advantage of that. So student organizations, there's over 500 plus student organizations. We have varsity sports, we have club sports, we have intramural sports, we have social, spiritual, service organizations, and professional organizations on our campus. Remember this, if you come to any varsity sport and event, varsity means that we offer a scholarship with it. If you come to any of those events, you can actually get in free with your one card to any of the varsity events. If you want to compete against other schools with club sports, we have that available too. You can sign up for that in the Moore Harris Recreation Center. And if you want to just do intramurals, you're like, you know what? I played in high school. I didn't get a scholarship, but I want to play and I want to be at Wayne. You can get your team, and they have a league in the fall and the fall now and in the winter for intramural basketball. And you probably saw, like, I remember we had a team. They competed in the intramurals at Wayne State, and they made it pretty far. I mean, in club sports, and they made it pretty far, which is cool. I think that staff, they're coaching a team in high school now. I think it's Wayne Memorial or one of those schools. So some of those players and coaches, they kind of got together, and they're still kind of making it happen. And we do have all the Divine Nine and all the fraternities and sororities. So if you're interested in that, that's definitely a good thing to join. You know about Midtown and all that, but we do have 7 residential halls. We have apartment buildings on campus. One thing about us, before, when we first started back in the day, we're mostly commuter students, but we built residential halls and they're all full too. So if you are interested in staying on campus, you need to sign up early and quick and fast because they fill up fast, because we got a number of students coming from out of town, and those international students can't really go back because of the pandemic. So they're still there. They kind of stay because they can't go back and forth and come back on campus. We just don't allow us. So they kind of held those rooms and stayed on campus, which is kind of cool. You're going to see one of the newest ones on Anthony Wayne. You guys probably passed it when you kind of ride through campus, and that's the Anthony Wayne Drive Apartments. And the next slide kind of has layouts, a lot of those rooms too. So the one on the far left is a more traditional room. That's more like Ghaffari Atchison. You remember this when you get into housing. The more space you have, the more expensive it is. So this one to the far left is probably the most affordable one, because guess what? When you got company, they got company. When you're sleeping, you can see them sleeping across the room. So but I will say this about all our residential halls. We don't have any community bathrooms. So you don't have to walk down the hall in your robe, take a shower, then come back, none of that stuff. You'll see that even the most affordable room has its own bathroom and wardrobes and all those things. The one in the middle is our Towers residential suites. It's an A through F suites. So this is just one model. This is a D suite. It's four different individual rooms with your own door, so you can close your door, get your space. Then you have 2 bathrooms, and there's a living room in the middle. So that's gonna be affordable too. Another one is the Anthony Wayne Drive Apartments, the one that I spoke of. And that's, you see, this one is probably your most expensive, but you can see it's pretty nice. Has a whole bedroom there, has a kitchen area, has a living room with a TV and all that kind of stuff. Then you have a bathroom, your own bathroom too. So it's kind of like an apartment. And there's a lot of different suites like that, but they all have their own space. And you see in that bedroom area, it's like a queen size, a full size. So it's not like a little room where you just got a single. So, but of course, you know that's the most expensive. So once you get your financial aid and you get all your scholarships back, then you can see which, if you want to stay on campus, if you can afford it or not. This kind of, again, location again. You guys are used to the Midtown location, so you kind of know a lot of things that's by. But we do have something called Thursdays in a D, and every Thursday they have different events for on-campus students. So when Hamilton came in town, they had tickets for the students to go to Hamilton. When Michelle Obama came in town, remember I spoke about the network, and for the minority females, it's called Rise. Michelle Obama came to campus, ate lunch with those groups, and then she rode down to the Little Caesars Arena and did her little symposium that she was having down at Little Caesars Arena, and our students kind of participated in that. But the good thing is that every Thursday is a different event. So the DSO, they have something. I remember they had a DSO event where it was a Star Wars night, and they play all Star Wars songs with the orchestra. Students got tickets and they went to that. So it's kind of cool. So you definitely will be engaging in things that's around the area too, which is kind of cool. Alumni. Of course, we're a big school, so we're gonna have a lot of alumni. You see 75% alumni are here in Michigan too. So that develops a network, right? That you can actually touch upon for internships, job leads, and all those. But I always like to name some alumni that you may know. Dan Gilbert, Quicken Loans, he's a Wayne State alum too. He went to our law school. Another one, if you ever saw Arrow, you saw Arrow, the character Dingle, the African-American guy on there. He's from Wayne. Tim Meadows, he was in Ladies Man. He was in that movie. And also Get Schooled is a TV show. I think it was on ABC. And of course, he was on Saturday Night Live. If you ever saw the old Ghostbuster movies, Ernie Hudson, the African-American Ghostbuster, he's from Wayne too. Or another show that you guys may know, Law and Order, or Chicago Med. Chicago Med, Epitha Murkison, the African-American lady that runs the hospital on Chicago Med, she's from Wayne also. So what you're gonna realize about our theater program is an equity stage. So you can actually get union credit, actor union credit when you're on our stage. And we bus all those students to Hollywood and New York. They do their monologue in front of agents that we know, and we kind of lead them right into their careers. So you see a lot of them on TV, which is kind of cool. So now we're getting into the nuts and bolts. This is important stuff. This stuff you've been waiting on. Of course, how do you apply? If you go to, you see step 1 there, wayne.edu/apply. Take a picture with your camera if you want to see it. Wayne.edu/apply. It's 2 ways to apply: the university application or the link to the common application. I'm encouraging you guys to do the university application. That's our personal application. You get a decision faster. It's easy to process. It's easy for me to check your data, see what's missing. Common App is a third party. So once everything complete, they send it to us. Let me say this. I'm going to talk about text optional later. If you do the Common App, that essay will not be used for test optional. So just remember that. If you qualify for free or reduced lunch, you can click for that. Click on your application for that. Get the fee waiver there, or your counselor can send in a NACAC fee waiver. Remember this, for October, if you apply October, MCAW 2021 is the fee waiver code. So that's MCAW 20, well, let me say that again. MCAW 2021 is a fee waiver code, but it's starting in October. If you want to start applying now, which I encourage you to do, just if you qualify for free or reduced lunch, you can still get it waived. So we're not trying to hold students up from applying. Second thing, you need to send in your transcript. So just have your counselor send it through Parchment, or you send it through Parchment, or mail it to us. Just get them to us. We'll take them. The last thing is SAT or ACTs. I know some of you guys took the SAT yesterday, right? I had a number of students call me and said, Mr. Young, I took the test. Have you taken it? Send us those scores, and we'll definitely upload them to your your file. Remember, we do a holistic review, so don't be hesitant on those scores, because if you have a lower score, we take the highest one. So if you take it more than once, that's always a good thing. Second thing is this: is if you haven't taken it, then you could do the test optional. But remember this: I will say this about test scholarships: you're going to be able to qualify for scholarship both ways. But those private scholarships that we have at Wayne State or departmental scholarships, sometimes those donors want test scores. They want you to do financial aid. So sometimes I think it's in this for a lot of schools you have. A lot of times when schools accept scholarships, private scholarships, they don't dictate the criteria. It may be like like one of you guys say, I went to university prep. Guess what? I went to Wayne State. I'm a grad. I want to develop a scholarship, but I need to know that they need money. So I want to see their financial aid. I want to know they got at least a pretty good SAT score, and I want to know they got a GPA. And you set that criteria. So just remember that when you're definitely applying or looking at scholarships. And you see at the bottom, it's transfer credit. I'm not getting to transfers because you guys are all high school students. All right, here's the test optional stuff. So you see the bullets here. It's bullet 1. Submit recommendation forms and academic references. So it's an academic reference form you need to do. That's the first one you need to do. 2, you must complete 2 short essays. So do that. And then 3, you're going to provide a list of leadership activities, extracurricular activities, and community involvement that you have. But remember this: you must use our university app to do this. And you need to get all this in before December 1st to be qualified for scholarships. I don't know. I can't tell you right now how they're going to distribute those scholarships based on GPA or whatever, all your essays and all those kind of things. I don't know that part yet. But what I will say is this, is if you're interested in that, you need to start working on it right away, because what you're going to see is going to be a lot of documentation you need to get in also. And I'm going to answer any questions at the end. So I will finish these last slides, and we're almost there. Then any questions that you guys have, we can move on to those questions. This is a pretty important slide because I always tell students, this is the time when August 1st is the first day you can apply to schools, right? So now you're in a situation where you actually applied. I'm hoping you applied tonight. You went to wayne.edu/apply. You did the university app again. You chose either test option or, that you're going to opt out for the test option, or you want to do the test option. So it's 2 ways you can choose. So if you know you're going to take the test, click test, and you send in your test scores. Then you don't have to do any essays or any of that kind of stuff. All we need is a transcript and a test score. And if you do the test optional, then you know all the other documentation that I spoke on before. But you need to apply, wayne.edu/apply. The second thing is October 1st. That's our school code, 002329. So our school code is 002329. And the first day you can do it is October 1st. I would say start applying, choose the schools you're going to apply to October 1st. Hey, talk to your parents. It's coming up fast. Get their W-2s together. Line up everything, put it in the box. October 1st be the first one to get online and get it done. Because our priority deadline, and you can see it there, we like everything to get in before December 1st, right? So you're qualified for scholarships. We're trying to get our financial aid back as soon as like end of December, January, if we can. We're trying to get it back to you as soon as possible. So you can start making those decisions, looking at the money that we're giving you and all those sorts of things too. So you see the deadlines there. Priority deadline, December 1st. Final scholarship deadline, February 1st. But you got to remember, priority money starting to get a little limited. Is going down at that point around that February. So get everything before December 1st. Transfer, we're not going to worry about that because it's not really applicable to you. This is a slide that I kind of kept on because we're in the middle of a pandemic. We gave welcome back bags to students. We got to-go meals, so students are actually not eating in the caf. They can take it to their rooms and eat it there too. Of course, our health clinic is open to all students. We have virtual events, Festival, Welcome Black, Alumni Social, Mike Ellis School of Business Back to School Bash. So we had a lot of virtual events too. And we got, hand sanitizers, social distancing signs, and all those things. And we even got Wayne State masks. You can see those students in the Wayne State masks there. I'm gonna pick mine up next week. So we try to make sure all students, because our students right now are online, but we have hybrid classes too. So some students have to come in for a lab. I know one guy that has like some sort of gym class that he does on campus. So some classes just can't be online. So we found out ways that we can do some of it online and do the rest in person. So we're figuring it out, and we're making those classes smaller so that we can accommodate and keep everyone safe. All right, so of course, I'm glad I met with you guys today, and we're going to answer any questions you have. But if we have campus tours, and we have tour guides that are still working, and they're virtual. So you can go to wayne.edu/tours, and you can do that. If you want to sit down with your mom and your dad in the kitchen, I met with students in Denver, Hawaii, all over the place. I met with a student. He was sitting right in front of the refrigerator at the kitchen table, and we were answering any questions, him and his mom. So if you want to have a visit with a counselor like that, like a virtual appointment, it's wayne.edu/visit, and you can set up there. I think it's been cool. I've been reaching more students through this platform than I have in person, to be honest with you. And the parents been more engaged too. So ideally your parents may have questions, and you guys can work on through this whole process together. So it's not so overwhelming. Join the virtual fall open house. So all those 350 programs, they're gonna have breakout sessions. You can attend those sessions, and so you sign on, go to social work, go to pharmacy. If you're interested in jewelry making, then go to that program and figure out how you can learn how to set diamonds and build rings and all those kind of things. So go to sign up for our virtual fall open house. You see it online. If you go to our website, you put virtual fall open house, you can register there, and it's October 3rd. Last but not least, this is the last slide. I know I've been talking a while. Complete your application. We spoke about that. wayne.edu/apply, university app. Remember that. Get everything in before December 1st for whatever option. If you go test or test optional option. Financial aid. Remember, first date is October 1st. Accept your admissions. If you know you're coming to Wayne, you love Wayne, accept your admissions right away. And then around May 1st, then you can pay your enrollment deposit. Paying your enrollment deposit allows you to register for orientation. So pay your enrollment deposit first, and then register for orientation. And then, of course, arrive on campus, and we'll welcome you, and you'll graduate in 4 years and be really successful citizens. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here, and then I'm if you have questions, I'll answer any questions you guys have. All right.
Oh, I have a question for you.
Yep.
What was that? Okay. I wanted you to talk a little bit about Raise Me and how it is so beneficial if you choose Wayne State.
Okay, good. All right. That's a good question. And yesterday I kind of talked about this at the beginning too. So, but I'm glad you asked it. So what you guys realize is if you get admitted to Wayne State, you got a 4-year scholarship. So that's called our Detroit Promise. Our Detroit Scholarship, and this is our Detroit Pledge. So the 2 criteria for that scholarship is you either go to Detroit Scholarship, you got to go to Detroit High School, or be a Detroit resident. So for you guys, even if you live in Southfield, Ferndale, Royal Oak, wherever, and since you guys go to University Prep High School, you qualify. So that's the first thing. Graduate from University Prep. 2, get admitted. 3, you need to do your financial aid. And then the 4th one is what Ms. Foote was kind of speaking on, is Raise Me. You need to get on Raise Me, register right away. I say do it today. Start working on it. You got to do it today. Work on it. Even if you do as much as you can. Guess what? As long as you register and you do as much as you can, you get admitted to Wayne State. I know all of you guys are going to do your financial aid. Then you got a 4-year scholarship for 4 years. And we're paying up that money. Then at that point, just graduate. Any other questions? Just raise a hand and Ms. Foote can unmute you, and then we'll answer your question.
Oh, Laverne, I'm sorry. Unmute your mic.
Okay.
Okay, so I actually am currently in the application process for Wayne. I have a few questions personal to me, if that was okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what I'll do is I'm gonna put my email right in the box here. And I see I'm looking at the chat here too. So I'm gonna answer some of those questions, but I love to hear from you guys, because when you guys talk, you don't realize that a lot of other students have the same question.
I did have some more general questions that everybody could benefit from too.
Yeah, let's go. Shoot them.
Okay, so when you're on the application, right, it offers an option for med direct. So like, if I wanted to be a nursing major, would I be able to nursing major then go to med school? Would I be able to do med direct?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Probably no. I mean, you could be a nursing student, but when you do med direct, it's you're not going to nursing school. You're going to med school. They're gonna be grooming you for that all the way through. So you can do nursing. I guess you can do nursing.
Right. If I wanted to get a BSc and then go get an MD, could I do that?
You can. But yeah, you can.
It's very possible. It's just gonna take some more time.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I would say this. It's so this is how med direct works. Med direct is usually, if you have really good GPA, usually the average is like they say 3.5, but it's a 4.0, right? We had about 6,000 applicants last year. It's only 10 spots. We only had 2 from Michigan last year. We pay for 4 years of undergrad, and we pay for 4 years of med school, all of med school too. So you get to shadow docs at the DMC, and you also do research with those docs at the DMC. So it's and then, the president, he meets with each one of those students one-on-one once a month, which is kind of cool. The president of the university. So it's kind of a lot. So be honest with you, I think nursing is a good one, but to team up with that. But to be honest with you, what I noticed, I had, out of all my years of recruiting, I maybe had 7 students. I had 70 trade students that were med direct students. So in saying that, I never had one. Most of them were like, I had one that was a psychology. I had an art major. I had because the thing is when you got into med school and you got to take those 9 core classes for pre-med, now you can explore all those other things that you were interested in. So you remember, like, you know what? I want to be a doctor, but I always thought about opening my own business. I want to own a couple of McDonald's while I'm a doctor too. So they were like, I'm a major in business and still go to med school. But the good thing is that I think one good thing that you're thinking about is being a nurse, because nurses are huge, because they teach you better patient care as a nurse than a doctor does. So you know all the information as a doctor, but you have good patient care too, because you majored in nursing. So I think it is a good joint to do. But just remember this, definitely apply now. If you're thinking about med direct, get all the info in that they're asking for, and there's a lot more paperwork. And once you fill out, you click med direct on the application that you have, it's a list of things gonna populate. So you got to get all those essays and recommendations and medical experience and all those things that they need to get in. So start that process now, because they choose those students pretty fast. So I hope that answered your question.
Yep.
I see one here says, does debate count as a varsity sport?
That was me too.
Okay, no, there you go. Okay, good. Well, it doesn't, but we do give scholarships for debate.
I know.
Yep. So ideally, I mean, I know I have a couple of kids that all their tuition's covered because of debate, and they travel all over. And I think we won the national championship in 2007 also. So
Y'all did.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a student right now that's currently there on debate scholarship.
That's huge. I mean, I know a lot of times people always be like, well, law school and this and that. But I know a number of my Detroit students that actually did go into debate, did go to law school in there. I mean, but there's some controversial. Those debate students are controversial.
Yes, we are.
Because that, when I recruit, they come by the office and they're always shaking it up. But it's always a good thing though, because you guys research a lot.
I think Mia had a question.
Okay, Mia.
Is she still here?
Okay.
Go ahead, Nia.
Okay, I was finna text and say I couldn't get off of mute at first. I just wanted to know how much the enrollment deposit was when registering.
That's good. That's good. It's usually $50. So ideally, what's going to happen is once you get admitted around that May, you know, when you get your financial aid package, you're going to get an email because some students get their enrollment deposit waived. I don't even know how they choose which students, but some get it waived. But I think there's a lot of it is dictated on their EFC score. There's a lot of dictated on need. So they waive that enrollment deposit so it's not any barriers. So the huge thing for you guys is, I mean, once you guys get in, you guys got a 4-year scholarship. So if you guys pay it, I guess that's the only money you'll be giving us for 4 years. So besides getting your books, unless you want to rent your books. So it's a good situation. Oh, I saw a student said I applied in August, but I still haven't heard anything back. Make sure you get all your documents in. Once you get all your documents in, we won't be sending any decisions out until October. So ideally, and I would say that probably the end of October for sure, because it's taking us a lot longer to get through all those essays and stuff. So it's a lot different. But definitely stay steadfast and get it. Make sure you got everything in. And you can always, so what you guys are gonna realize is once you submit your application, they're gonna send an email to your, an email to your email that gives you a link to your application portal. So you can upload things, you can stay up to date on it, and that's gonna how you can keep up with your application and where things are. And you can always go to that application portal and you can check and see if you got your decision. Because you're gonna get an email that says, oh, your decision is ready. And 2, you can go to the application portal to check it out.
Mr. Topi, go ahead.
I was just wondering, how does the test optional thing for the SAT work again?
You got to fill out the academic form. It's 2 short essays, and then there's an activities list that you need to get in. As soon as you apply, you'll see all the bullets, and they're going to give you essay questions and all those things. So long as you get those 3 things in and turn in your transcript, then we consider you. There is like a GPA criteria. It's like a 3.0. As long as you got 3.0 higher, then you can go test optional. If not, then just do the test. So you could choose either or. Ideally, a lot of times students are 7th semester grades kind of come in. I'll still apply test optional, even if you're close. Then the 7th semester, I get your new transcript, and then I submit that, and we can review it again also. I saw a student here, I think it's a junior in here, Miss Henderson.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna answer your question. And I know these seniors will tell you this. It's so important. I know you guys, the test is gonna happen. So you definitely start studying for the SAT. So you won't be in the same situation as these seniors. However, another thing I want you to do is sign up for Raise Me, as Ms. Foot said, so that you're ready for the Harvard Detroit Scholarship for next year. Another thing I would say do is this is your last year to get the grades right where you need them to be. Because really colleges look at the freshman, sophomore, and junior year. So ideally, you want to make sure that your grades are good at that point. Because as you see, the seniors are applying right now. It's fall, and the grades we're looking at are freshman, sophomore, and junior years. So I'd say finish off strong. You see, if it is a test option route, it's activities, resumes, so get involved and just get those grades and study for the SAT. That's what I'll tell you. And get involved on campus, make an impact. So okay, I see Topi on Raise Me. So Raise Me is kind of like this. You can actually start Raise Me 9th grade. So Raise Me was set up, it's like an insurance policy. That's what I always tell students, that's what it is. So ideally, what happens is this, is you register 9th grade, you maybe put on all your, for working a job, you get money. For coming to this presentation, you get money. For getting good grades, you get money. For being involved in school, you get money. Being on the basketball team, all those things, you get money. You can get up to $20,000. So it's $5,000 per year. That's not dictated on your grades, on your SAT scores. So we had a lot of students that maybe got in. They maybe had they got in, but their SAT score wasn't through the roof. It wasn't like a 1340 or anything. So they're like, we want more scholarship money. So we teamed up with Raise Me so that we can help those students that are, guess what? They're good students, but they're like the captain of the basketball team and they're doing everything else. but they just don't get the best score maybe, right? But now they're so involved where they raise a lot of money through Raise Me, earned a lot of money through Raise Me because of all the other things they're doing. And you can get up to $20,000. And that money is for Wayne State. So what they do is they split that up over 5 years. But however, the hard thing for you guys is this. We get you to sign up for Raise Me, but the hard thing is that, unfortunately, it's only for tuition. And ideally, if you get into Wayne State, we cover your tuition. But we just need you to do it just so we can, justify. So because we get donors that kind of donate money so you guys can get that full ride. And we're teaming up with that money. And through the Raise Me, it kind of shows the other things that you guys are doing to kind of say, hey, these students are doing these things. They're great students and they deserve the money too. So that's kind of what Raise Me kind of helped us with that part. Any other questions? I think I answered every question. I'm in the university application, but I have a question at the, okay. I think, yep, that was Mr. Harden. So, someone said that, thank God they got private bathrooms. That is good. That's good. I mean, I have mine in my room. I definitely won't want to walk down the hallway in a road. And and I know schools have remember this, and I know this is maybe deter some students, but we have co-ed dorms too, so that wouldn't be good for us to have community bathrooms. But if your parent is like, I know some of you young ladies, they're like, I don't want to live next door to any guys, so we got all girls floors too, and we got quiet floors also, so that's a possibility. But let me say this, so tell your parents, it's no girls and guys in the same room. So it'll be 2 guys or 2 girls or all that kind of stuff. So I hope I answered all you guys' questions. And the good thing is I'm glad you guys registered. So all the students that registered for the event, all the stuff that you said you're interested in, those schools are going to contact you. You get the mailings from us, the reminders of stuff that's going on. So I'm glad you guys registered, and I'm glad everyone showed up to the event too. So if any of your friends couldn't make it and they did register, they're going to get that stuff too. So it kind of worked out good. I know I had a technical difficulty in the beginning, but I'm glad you guys stayed around to hear what I had to say. So as long as there's no other questions, is there any more questions before I leave? Okay, well, thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for coming, Mr. Young. And thank you guys for coming. Thank you, parents. If you guys have any questions, he put his email address in there. Make sure you save it so you can contact him directly. And I'll put it in band too, so everybody have access to it.
Can I say this? Thank you, parents, too. I'm be honest with you. I remember when I was in college, I don't remember half the schools I applied to or scholarships. My mom she was humping on those scholarships. She was helping with those applications. So, hey, come up with a game plan, students. You get some of this stuff. Maybe mom working on some, maybe dad working on some. Talk to Miss Foote, see what she got. Come up with a game plan, a timeline, so you can attack it the way you want, so you get as much money as possible. That's huge. So, hey, you know what? You got my email, reach out. As some students reach out for my last presentation yesterday, I don't mind reaching out to you. Sometimes I may ask for your phone number because I may need to talk to you on the phone because it's a real detailed question. But thanks for coming and thanks for having me.